The rightful president of the United States, Bernie Sanders, is heading back to New York City to back the Amazon Union. This is a story from Yahoo News, and it says Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont, plans to visit Amazon warehouse workers in Staten Island, New York on Sunday in a show of support for the workers' unionization drive. Christian Schmalz, president of the Amazon Labor Union, an independent union that spearheaded the first successful unionization of an American facility earlier this month, announced the visit Wednesday on Twitter. Spokesperson for Sanders did not have additional details about the nature of Sanders' visit or the exact timing. Sanders has long been one of the Congress' most outspoken supporters of organized labor. He has been vocal in the press and on social media in support of Amazon workers' efforts to form a union. Senator Bernie Sanders plans to visit Amazon warehouse workers and union activists the day before voting on unionization begins at a second facility in Staten Island, New York. After the National Labor Relations Board certified the ALU's unionization vote on April 1st, Sanders congratulated the workers on their extraordinary victory. I believe it's going to be a shot in the arm for this country's labor movement. Sanders subsequently hosted a video forum on April 11th for Amazon workers active in the ALU. The ALU won its first victory without the resources of a national union or major attention from national politicians. Some observers credit the union's under-the-radar approach for its success, but the ALU evidently believes it stands to benefit from Sanders' help. His visit will fall a day before the start of a vote on whether to unionize at a second Amazon facility on the same campus as the larger warehouse. JFK 8, or Smalls, an ex-employee, led the winning union drive. Workers at the second, smaller facility, LDJ 5, are due to cast votes for April 25th through April 29th. Amazon has objected to the National Labor Relations Board's certification of the unionization at JFK 8, claiming that the LU threatened workers. The retailer has until this Friday to demonstrate evidence of its allegations to the Labor Board. Alright, so, as usual, Bernie coming up clutch, to help out workers. And so, look, say what you want, but, dude just doesn't stop fighting. Dude just cannot stop. He's been fighting for unions for 40 years. He's been fighting for workers' rights for 40 years. And so, Bernie Sanders is the reason that Amazon workers make as much money as they do now. He took it to Jeff Bezos directly and basically forced Bezos' hand and led a walkout of Amazon workers to ensure that they get the money that they rightfully deserve. And so when he was running for president the second time, there was no shock that he led the unions in terms of endorsements. I think he was endorsed by over 50 unions. And I think the second closest was Biden with 7 or 8. But Bernie just for many, many decades has been fighting to unionize the whole country so that we as workers can actually decide what goes on in our workplace and have a say in how things are run, and also maybe get a little bit of the profit from the people in charge of the places that we work at. I think that what Bernie's doing, showing up when AOC refused to show up, when any of the rest of the squad refused to show up, when Jimmy Dore refused to show up, when, a bunch of people refused to show up, I think Bernie going shows that it's him and Nina Turner. They're the only ones that really believe in a true progressive vision outside of Kyle Kulinski. And this is not even a shot at Crystal Ball, but she makes this show with Sagar, who's not really a progressive. So Sagar has good points from time to time, and I've never met him, but he seems like a fine enough person. I'm sure I would love him. Not like that, but I'm sure that I would love him if I met him. He seems like a really cool dude. But Kyle has never strayed to the right like how Dor has. And I think it's like Vosh, Kyle, and the Humanist report. Those are like the three left that are still like kicking ass and doing the best possible job that they can to try to get a true progressive message out there. And if you are a true progressive, you would be supporting these workers full front and not trying to make a political statement out of it and trying to shit on Democrats because AOC didn't show up, but it's not even really about that. It's about the fact that if you are a progressive, don't make this about party. Don't. Because it's been proven in the past that Democrats are more pro-union. But the fact that, like, Jimmy Dore is out here trying to, like, make a point that Tucker Carlson is for unions when Tucker Carlson has said many times that he thinks that unions are, like, bad for workers is just, like, fucking hilarious to me. But so I feel like if you truly believe in this, like, don't make a political statement. Because if I were to go into a warehouse, I don't give a fuck if someone is wearing a Bernie shirt or a MAGA hat. Every worker deserves the same rights, and every worker deserves the same amount of respect and the same amount of dignity. And so I would fight with that. And I've done it, and I will continue to stand side by side with MAGA to fight to unionize. Because it's one of the few issues that they're not gone on, and they're on the right side of history. And if you're on the right side of history, then I'm with you. But if you're on the wrong side of history, then I'm not with you. And I hope that I get to a point where what I say will matter, but most likely not. But you know what? That's fine. I'm just doing this for fun. I literally am not making any kind of money off of this. I feel like if someone out there is, listening, maybe I could open up their eyes a little bit. That's all. But yeah, so I found that story to be very interesting and kind of a feel-good news type of a news thing. So that's that for that story.